Hey everybody, this is Rebel Frack. I just wanted to do another video blog. This is going to be about another response to some of the different video blogs that a lot of black folk are putting out there. The last one was pretty much the one that was that I called Through Afro Eyes. That was just kind of like a reactionary commentary on just some of just like what I felt was like the negative side of that. This was going to be about the positive side. Okay, this is a drawing that I did. This is of David Hines, the lead singer and guitar player for the reggae band Steel Pulse. It was from a photo taken several years ago, and I'm including this because this is represents how I would have seen him and myself and other African people through that European filter, without an understanding that we are comprised of color. There is no one person of any race who is one solid slab of color. Our color shifts and changes depending on the lighting that we're in, depending on reflective light, what it is that we're wearing, where we're standing, and this is how I would have seen him or myself or others before understanding that seeing someone that way is through a filter, that it's a judgment call, that it can be removed. So that's why this one is included. This is one of the portraits that I did. It's of this one is of James Baldwin, and the color palette that I used was green, yellow, some green, blue, and for the face, for the hands. And the reason I chose that is because just to enhance and exaggerate something that I have, and looking at Africans. African Americans through African eyes, is just noticing, that we are, there's a myriad of colors, and when you take off the European filter and look at, I believe, at least, that when you take off that European filter and we look at one another through African eyes, we can see, that we're just a lot of colors. It's just some of it's subtle, some of it's very faint, but it's there. And I just wanted to use him to explore that and put this in a series of paintings that I've done. Okay, this one is a portrait of Tracy Chapman, and if the coloring is right, if the lighting is right, you can tell that I used red violet to render Tracy. And again, one of the reasons I'm doing this is to just enhance or exaggerate a statement around color. African people are a myriad of colors, and as I was saying, no one person is a just solid slab of color. It changes, it varies depending on, like I said, what clothes you're wearing, what lighting you're in, sometimes even if you're just walking. And you can see it in shadows along the ear, underneath the chin, and that's where you can see like the greens and the blues and the reds. And so just exaggerating that and just painting the entire, the features, the entire face, in those colors. It's fun, and this is one I enjoy a lot. And this one is of Jimi Hendrix. It's from an album cover, live album, Jimi Hendrix Live at the Fillmore with the Band of Gypsies. Excellent album, by the way. And I chose this one. Actually, the shot is there's a spotlight on him, and they've got gels on the spotlight, and so it's already red. And you can see the yellow, and you can see the green. And I just used that again to just underline the series, the statement behind this series, and that is, just seeing us through African eyes, the colors that are there, and just exaggerating. Obviously, when I see Jimi Hendrix, I don't, I know that he's not, green and red, and I know that Tracy Chapman isn't magenta, and I know that, James Baldwin isn't actually green or green yellow, but it's just to underscore what I'm talking about, that when we take off that filter, we can see each other and just enjoy the beauty of all of it. Okay, so now you know a little bit more about me. When I see African people, I just see the highlights that are there. Just maybe a little orange, some red, magenta, green, blue, and just exploring with it. And so now, what does it have to do with being white or acting white? Just, there were so many times, or there have been times when I have been, I don't even know how to describe it, where those types of African Americans who have these really rigid guidelines and mores. If you're black, you act like this. If you're white, you act like this. If you're black, you listen to this kind of music. If you're white, you listen to this kind of music. Black people should be teachers. They should be business owners. They should be doctors. They should be nurses. We don't have time to be artists. We don't have time to be writers. I mean, I've met them. And for those of you who are thinking, well, that's kind of stupid. It is stupid, but there are people that have that type of mindset, and then there are those who have been okay, with me being a painter. That's okay. I've met African Americans who said, well, that's cool, we need some black painters. Yeah, man, go for it. That's cool. That's down. But why'd you paint the brother green? Why are you painting the sister, violet? No, come on, man. Why you gotta be strange like that? And that's what white people do. Why you trying to be white? Just paint black people black people. But you ashamed of being black? You ashamed of being brown? It's like, no, I'm not ashamed of being black or brown or whatever color you want to see me on the spectrum. I am painting the way I want to paint. And I'm not going to let someone else's filters, or someone else's values determine how I paint. And there was a time when I would, adhere to that, when I would back off. I would only listen to, the cool music, because I didn't want anyone to think that, oh my God, I don't want anyone to think that I'm being white, because what happens then is the ridicule, the rejection. And that hurts. And as I said in the other video, part 1 of this, is that we have wounded each other, African Americans, in the United States at least, we have wounded each other deeply. We have given one another scars. And behind that, and, like I said, centuries ago, it was necessary to see ourselves through, the eyes of Europeans as a survival skill, being able to understand how they interpreted our behavior, those white slave owners and overseers and police officers. It was important to be able to have an understanding of how they perceived us, because depending on what they thought, it could literally spell the difference between life and death and the destruction or the dismantling of one's family. Being sold downriver for being uppity, for trying to be white, for not staying in your place. It was passed on to children, to children's children, and then their children, and now it's ingrained. So much so that, like I said, there are African Americans who literally adhere to that. You got to talk this way. You got to this is what you should be studying in school, because we need to advance, black people along these lines. This is what, these are the people you should be hanging out with. This is the way you should be dressing. And, me, again, offbeat artist, the majority of my clothes have paint splatters on them, I listen to whatever I want to, while I'm painting, because sometimes it helps, relax me or get me in, that special place where I need to go to in order to paint a painting. And that's something that artists do, I've been in art classes with other students who've had their headphones on and they're rocking out, and I'm thinking, man, what are they listening to? They're listening to klezmer music. They're listening to country and western music. They're listening to fiddling. They're listening to electronic. It doesn't matter. But sometimes it's like we have pigeonholed ourselves into these little bitty pigeonholed in boxes, and so much so that painting someone green or exploring with different skin tones or changing them with glazes they can't handle that. And not only can they not handle it, it's almost like they don't want to see other African Americans do it, and so they try to it's almost like instinctual. It's like they want to break us down, and then they start making fun of us and putting us down, and being excluded from parties, being ostracized, and that hurts, and I've got scars from it, and I've been on the receiving end of it, and I've been on the giving end of it. You know, when I was little, I was stupid too, you know. But you know, you grow up, you get your own sense of self, your own sense of being, you know, and you just throw that yoke off, you know, and move forward. And so that's really what I just wanted to share. Please feel free to offer comment, or you know, and just enjoy the paintings. And I don't know, I'll see you later.